So I'm back from holidays and I want to talk about the latest Xbox Series X Pro rumors. Let's look into this. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So yes, I'm back from holidays guys, and my holidays were great, but as always too short. And while I was away, a couple of interesting things happened, but I want to focus today on Xbox hardware. Now, I'm sure you've heard of Xbox Era and their podcast. Nick, during that podcast, has got this rumor mill kind of segment where he talks about things he have heard from his sources. So it's all about speculation, rumors, and leaks, right? And during that short part of the whole stream, he spoke about new Xbox hardware coming very soon. So he spoke about Xbox Series X Digital and Pro. Also, well, there's been some talk about Xbox Series S Portable, but I will leave that for the end of this video, really. Let's talk about Xbox Series X Digital, which actually would be just diskless optical without a console without optical drive, right? We're not talking about without SSD, but without optical drive. So just like PlayStation 5 Digital, cheaper, smaller probably, console makes sense. I mean, most people don't use optical drives anymore, discs, Blu-rays. People download their games, they stream videos or movies now from Netflix, etc. So it makes sense. I hope it would be as an option, because I would still like to have an option. I own Xbox Series X Standard Edition, so it has optical drive, so I don't care. But for people that still use discs, I think that option should still be there. So I guess, and this is me speculating right now, I guess it would be just they would still be selling the current Xbox Series X console, but add a digital edition to it, right? So that would change nothing for developers, so there would be no, complaining about it. So digital version of Xbox Series X just makes sense, and I do believe that it will come. Probably not this year. I think it's too late. They would probably have already announced it, especially that they did announce Xbox Series S black 1 terabyte console. So yeah, next year, maybe, why not, right? So let's talk about Xbox Series X Pro now. Okay, so Nick, during his podcast, he did not specifically confirm Xbox Series X Pro, but he did say he was told by apparently a couple of people that other Xbox hardware is coming in 2025. So not next year, but in 2025. So of course, what other Xbox hardware could that be? Microsoft is not interested in VR, so no VR, I guess. I guess we could speculate maybe that it could be the cloud Xbox, but I'm not really sure if that would actually happen, because they've been working on that cloud thing for a while now, and I guess now with all these options, I guess you can stream to TV, Android devices, mobile phones, laptops. Do you really need on cloud only console? I don't think that makes sense, especially that more and more TVs support game streaming now, right? So it's just additional cost. I don't think it makes business sense right now. And also, cloud is not as successful as Microsoft thought it would be right now. So it's something that is probably coming in the future, maybe, but I don't know. So it's probably PlayStation. So it's probably Xbox Series X Pro, which a lot of people want, including myself. And it would actually make even more sense in 2025, because even better technology would be available to build such a console. Now, a lot of people will say, yeah, but developers already have issues with Xbox Series S. Adding additional console to for them to work on would be a problem, probably. And I understand that, but look, I like Digital Foundry's idea for the console, for Xbox Series X, which would not really stress developers too much and would allow, for users like myself and many others out there too, to enjoy better running and better looking games. And I'm talking about Xbox Series X Pro. That would not necessarily be something totally new, but just faster version of the same, right? Like on PC, right? You've got a series of cards. You've got, for example, RTX 2080 series of cards. You've got RTX 3080 series of cards. You've got AMD Radeon RX 68 or like 6000 series of cards. Then 7000 will be soon, right? And etc. etc. And basically, we're talking about the same technology, right? So, like when let's look at NVIDIA. I'm more familiar with NVIDIA cards. So if we look at cards like RTX 2080 or like 20 series cards, 30 series cards, 40 series cards, all these cards have the same features. Like every single card has the same feature, right? Just like Xbox Series S and Xbox Series X, they have all the same feature. They are compatible, right? The only difference between all these cards when it comes to these different series like 2080, 2060, 2070, 2080, 29, like there's no 2080, 2080 Ti. The only difference is more compute units, faster clock speeds, and more video RAM, right? That's it, right? For the most part. And meaning that you don't necessarily have to optimize extra for these cards. You just, hey, if there's a card with more power, it will just run faster or run at higher resolutions. So that would actually not be a bad idea for Xbox Series X Pro, because it would require no extra optimization on developers, right? I mean, it's same series of consoles, if you know what I mean, with no extra features. It's because, like, if you look at the Xbox One and Xbox One X, they were quite different on many levels. Different memory system. CPU was the same. GPU was actually, quite beefed up there. While with so it would be just yet another Xbox Series console, which would just be faster, right? So what developers could do, they would not even have to really focus that much on optimizing for that new console. What users would get was better frames and higher resolutions. Yes, developers could add extra if they really wanted to, like first party, for example, they could add extra graphics and stuff. Like nobody's stopping developers from doing that. But at least bare minimum would be just make sure that the game runs well on Xbox Series S and X, right? As they would normally do anyway, they will do anyway. And Xbox Series X Pro owners, or however they would call it, they would just get a higher resolutions, probably automatic anyway, because these games these days, I would say most of them uses dynamic resolution scaling anyway, right? So game engine would just, let's just say, detect that extra power, and the game engine would say, okay, so I can run this game at much higher resolution, no problem. Oh, now I can run, well, a game engine doesn't really detect frames. It just runs as fast as it can, right? So, for example, games, let's look at Star Wars Jedi Survivor. It's running anything between 35 to 60 frames per second on Xbox Series X in performance mode. So on Xbox Series X Pro, we could say that this game could potentially run at locked 60 maybe, right? Why not, right? So yeah, no new features, not necessarily, unless that would be a feature that would be automatic, not requiring developers to do any extra work. That would make sense. And so yeah, Xbox Series X Pro, or however you want to call it, would make sense. And I'm talking about that kind of console, because let's face it, like even right now, developers are not really taking full advantage of Xbox Series S and X. A lot of these next gen features are still not being used. I mean, some of them are, but not a lot of them are still. Full velocity architecture is probably still not used. SFS probably not used at all. We'll see how, new games and like this year and next year, whether these going to be using these. But like mesh shaders, not a chance. Not a single game is using it right now. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff there. Machine learning seems to be underutilized too, or like not utilized at all really. So it is what it is, guys. So like I think that feature-wise, I don't think that Xbox Series consoles need new features. They just need more power to actually push through better frames and maybe higher resolutions in games that have got the dynamic resolution scaling applied, right? So that's Xbox Series X Pro rumors, and that console, that other hardware is coming in 2025. So Xbox has more time to, for example, to wait for lower production node. So instead of, because there's been rumors that PlayStation 5 Pro is going to be is supposed to be produced on 7 nanometers. So I guess Microsoft could wait for 3 nanometers. I mean, it's not really much of a difference anyway, but yeah, I guess I guess it makes the production of such console cheaper, right? So it would make more business sense for Microsoft, right? So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, this is still just, these are rumors we're talking about here. And the last word on Xbox hardware, Xbox Series S, not slim, but portable. Okay, so during that conversation, during the Xbox Era podcast, Sika Mecanico actually mentioned that he would love an Xbox Series S portable. And Nick replied to him, other hardware in 2025. Like, which, if you actually look at it from like watching that podcast, is like, is he suggesting Xbox Series S portable? And of course, that's not really the case, but like, because he claims that he still don't know what that other hardware is, right? It's possible, I don't know. But apparently, he said that that's not really the case. So I don't really think that Xbox really needs a portable hardware with so much, there's a strong competition out there right now, because we've got Nintendo Switch doing fantastic numbers, Switch 2 on the horizon, Steam Deck. Valve already confirmed that there will be Steam Deck 2 at some point. Now we've got that Rogue, how is it called? Rogue Ally tablet, which plays games and everything. It's actually more powerful than Xbox Series S even. So, I mean, do you really think Xbox needs a portable hardware? Especially that all this Windows-based hardware or hardware that can run Windows, like Steam Deck, yes. Windows is not meant to be run on Steam Deck, really. It's a Linux, by default Linux machine, but you can run Windows there anyway, or run Windows games via Proton, I think. I'm not really specialist in Linux gaming, really. Then we've got that Rogue Ally, which is a Windows machine, so I think so. Hey, it's powerful enough to run Windows and everything, and games actually runs pretty well. The only big problem with Rogue Ally is the battery life. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. That's the problem with these portable machines anyway. So I personally just don't think Microsoft needs that kind of hardware. And also remember that Xbox Series S has been built as a standalone, like you know, a console, not a portable device. Portable devices has like totally different. Some of the things that I use there are a bit different. Like even if you look at Steam Deck, like Steam Deck is using some low power memory modules. So I don't even like, these would not be compatible with Xbox Series S. Like Xbox Series S is a console that you plug into you know, a wall socket, not run on battery. I mean, I guess you could run it on battery, no problem, but for how long for, right? So I don't think it makes sense. I mean, I get it that a lot of people would love it, but guys, at the end of the day, you can play all these Xbox Series S games via Xbox Game Pass, PC Game Pass on Windows devices. And if you've got Rogue Ally, hey, there we go, right? I mean, you can play all these Xbox games on a go, no problem. So yeah, these are my thoughts on these rumors and speculations. You know, me personally, I'm the only console I'm really looking forward to would be Xbox Series X Pro. Xbox Series X digital, you know, I don't need another console really when it comes to. I guess if they released Xbox Series X, I could sell Xbox Series S and I guess replace it with Xbox Series X digital for my son, I guess. But we'll see. But at the same time, if Xbox Series X Pro released, I could buy Xbox Series X Pro for myself and just give the standard Xbox for my son anyway. But by the way, my Xbox Series X is downstairs connected, to the big TV, so my son is using it most of the time anyway. So that's reality of the situation. So guys, yeah, that's all I want to talk about today really. There's other very interesting things going on, PlayStation, Xbox related, even Nintendo a little bit. So I'm back, so I'll be back. I'm back on a normal schedule now. I may try to make another video today, if not tomorrow. You know how these things, it's actually getting late here in Poland and I've got few things to do anyway. So guys, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about it. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care.